Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's lovely to have you all here. Today, I really wanted to talk to you about the divine masculine and the divine feminine because I feel like I want to explain what my guides have been saying, that what this is really about. Before I do that, I want to say that we had amazing retreats this month. We worked with really being in that infinite possibility and a limitless optimal timeline. So that was really exciting on Monday in part two. And if you weren't on the retreat, you didn't get the retreats, you absolutely can get the replays. And I would say that it's a really good idea for you to be in alignment with your true infinite timelines of possibility. So it is for us to remember that we are limitless. And so being limitless, what does that mean? We found out. And so by doing the deep work on retreat number one, we were able to clear all of those timelines and childhood karmic stuff. And then in retreat number two, because I always do them in two parts each month, we actually worked with many different activations. So we had we had Metatron coming in, we had Mother Mary, we had the archangels, we had Michael, we had many different councils coming in to help us and to allow us to align to this limitless timeline. So that was really good fun. We're also in the middle of an eclipse. So we just had the full moon in Scorpio and it was a total lunar eclipse. And hands up who had a headache. I did. So I'm just seeing if anyone's live on here so I can talk to you. Yeah, hands up who had a headache, or hands up who had an aching body, like many of us, including myself. So I had like a third eye kind of expansion going on and a crown expansion going on. And that obviously has led to quite a few downloads. So my guides have been really very proactive these last couple of days and really channeling a lot of information to me. So we've got some really exciting things coming up. One of the things that's coming up is I'm doing a free masterclass on here. We did the last masterclass a couple of weeks ago, and that was connecting and communicating with your guides. So if you haven't watched that one, it's a couple of videos ago, and obviously it's free because it's on my YouTube channel. And so I'd love it if you would like to explore connecting with your guides. So the next one that we're actually going to be doing is going to be really like the spiritual entrepreneur that I ran 2 years ago, but I'm going to take a few bits of it and give you a masterclass on spiritual business. So how we can really align to being, a true business person, but actually being on our spiritual mission. So that will be really fun. So definitely watch out for that. If you're not on my newsletter, then pop over to my website after this and go to susankennard.co.uk, where you can sign up to my newsletter. And that's where I like to keep in contact with people and tell you about all the new innovative things that are coming up. So what else is going on? Yeah, so we had the full moon in Scorpio event last night, which was also really transformative. And the guides came in and did a huge amount of healing work with us on what we wanted to let go of and what we wanted to bring in. So definitely come and join us on the next moon event, which is in a couple of weeks' time, which will be the new moon in Gemini. So we look at the astrology, but we also look at meditation and healing. So the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So I work with a lot of people, many groups. Obviously, I have my membership group, but many other groups. And one of the things that I've found really strongly is that we have to be in receiving and giving mode. So we have to be able to receive and give equally for us to be in that frequency of really abundance. Let's just call it that for now. So if you see an infinity sign, you imagine a number 8 on its side. If you imagine that beautiful symbiotic relationship between giving and taking, it's kind of endless. Okay, So it's an infinite cycle. But of course, if one side is less than the other, one side is more than the other, then there's going to be this feeling of sometimes we might sacrifice ourselves for another, or we might not, so we might not be able to receive. And I'll explain a bit more about that in a moment. But we might not be able to receive, and yet we just want to kind of give our energy, we want to give all of our time, and we want to sacrifice ourselves so that, in essentially, we are loved, right? So the other side of that is where we are receiving, receiving, and receiving, and receiving, and we're not able to give for lots of different reasons, many different kind of shame, guilt, all sorts of things. Okay. So when we're thinking about the divine feminine and the divine masculine, I like to think of it as the divine feminine aspect of us is about receiving, whether you're a man or a woman. And it is also about receiving from Mother Earth. So it's receiving the support from Mother Earth and receiving the nourishment from Mother Earth. So if you think of it that way, just for a second, just think about that. Because if you're not receiving from Mother Earth and you don't feel supported by Mother Earth, then it's really hard to manifest in human form. So just have a think about what's going on in your life right now. Does it feel easy? And feel free to talk to me. Oh, hi, Veronica. Lovely to see you. Hi, Kim. Lovely to see you too. So does it make sense to you that, perhaps there may have been something in your life where you didn't feel completely supported by Mother? Okay. So that doesn't mean that your mother isn't supportive now, or you don't have a lovely relationship with her, or you don't have love. That is not what it means. What it means is that possibly you hold the frequency that you are not supported by Mother. Then, of course, what happens is if you hold the frequency that you're not supported by Mother, of course, we are frequency, we're a crystalline light field, but we are a vibrational frequency. So if we hold that frequency, then what does the universe give us, or our outside world give us? A reflection of that frequency. Okay, does that make sense? So what you might be showing, and I'm not saying you are, but what you might be showing is, I don't feel supported by Mother in my frequency, so I don't feel supported by Mother Earth in my frequency, Gaia. So I don't feel supported being human in my frequency. It's really interesting, isn't it? And if you think about it that way, you think about, well, wow, actually, it makes sense. If I'm not supported by Mother and I'm not supported by being human, then how is it possible for me to feel that I could manifest in human form? Because if I'm not supported, then I'm not looked after. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does it make sense to anyone that's watching live? And please, feel free to message me, even if you're watching this on the replay, in the Now Time replay later, then feel free to comment, and I will comment back as much as I possibly can to acknowledge you and offer any support that you need. So let's go to divine masculine. So that's the divine feminine. It's just a very shortened version. And this is the divine masculine. So many people say to me that they want to be able to connect with their guides. They want to be able to hear their guides, see their guides, actually feel supported by their guides. And of course, we have had many lifetimes, and possibly in this lifetime as well, where we have seen God as a man. Okay, so just think of that for a second. We've seen God as a man. So if we've seen God as a man, and if we've had times where we felt betrayed by God, unsupported by God, whatever it might be, or we were told, we were brought up in the Catholic religion, and no judgment, by the way, it's just a noticing and an observation that those that seem to be brought up in the Catholic religion seem to have this fear of God or a guilt and shame and so on. And so if we think of it that way, in this lifetime, if you've been brought up to think of as God as separate from you and like, something that is outside of you, a man, whatever it might be, then there is that kind of frequency of I have to be afraid of God, or I've heard of the expression God fearing. Yeah. So if we're afraid of God, then essentially we're afraid of the support from the universe. So if we've had in this lifetime, let's just talk about difficult relationship with father, or we felt separated from father, or we felt that feeling of disconnect from father, or maybe even abandoned by father, right? Maybe our father abandoned us, when we were little, then, or we didn't know our father, then that is a frequency match to not being supported by father. Okay. So then if we're not supported by father, we don't feel supported by the universe, by our guides, by source energy. Does that make sense? I'm going to check my comments. Yeah. So Heather, hi Heather. And Veronica says, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it makes sense, doesn't it, that what would be really important for us is to hold the frequency that we are supported by mother and that we are supported by father. Because then what happens is we open the doorways to not only be manifesting in human form, so we're manifesting from that place of limitlessness, if that's a word, so feeling limitless, and that's from the Mother Earth perspective, from our human perspective, but also that part of us, if we feel supported by father, then we would be manifesting and bringing source energy through directly because we feel supported by father, so God, etc. Yeah, makes sense. So what to have our divine masculine and our divine feminine in alignment in our giving and receiving, this is what my guides have been channeling to me, is that we need to be in complete full alignment to the support from mother and the support from father. And that, I think, is, I don't know, for me, I feel that's quite enlightening, because when we think of our life, and just, we're gonna do meditation as well on this video, but if we think about our life, maybe not even now, but if we think about before, how was it before? Yeah. Have you started stepping forward onto your mission? Have you started manifesting more? Have you started enjoying your life more, having more joy in your heart? Jupiter went into Aries on the 10th, so recording this on the 17th, and Jupiter went into Aries, and it's there until the end of October. And this is exciting times, right? So wherever Aries is in your chart, have a look, because wherever that is, there's going to be a real focus on it. But definitely it's a time for us to connect more deeply to our inner guidance, and we can just call it that. We don't have to say our guides or anything else. We can say actually our GPS for the soul, our true inner guidance. So once we have connected with that and there is nothing in the way, then we are in that space of infinite limitless. Yeah. So we're not limited by anything when we are in that flow. Okay. So the more you are aligned to your mission, the easier it is to live in this world. So if you feel stuck at the moment, and there's lots of people going through, and this Scorpio full moon was bringing up a lot of really, really deep emotions that perhaps we haven't looked at before, and also things that we've looked at and it's come back up because there's been another layer of it. Okay. So let's do a meditation. Let's do a meditation because I feel like it would be really helpful to see what the guides come in with. And I may just do a card as well. I think, yeah, bear with me. I have a whole drawer of cards in my desk. So I think I'm going to do the Gateway of Light activation cards. I'll just show these. They're by Carl Gray. So let's just see what the guides have to say. But so, you know, look out for the retreats in June, which will be on my newsletter very soon, because we're going to be holding intuitive healing retreats. I've channeled them today, and they're going to be working with clearing everything in the way of us having the frequency of being supported by Mother on the first retreat. And so it's really the divine feminine. And then with activations and healing and amazing things. And then the second one will be everything that stops us feeling supported by Father. So this is, you know, in our childhood, this is in our timelines, this is ancestral, this is Akashic records. If you don't know my work, that's how I work. And quite often there will be, well, there always is actually, activations and light language that comes through from my teams that I work with. So let's just have a look. So that's going to be in June, and the first one is actually going to be June the 6th, if I'm right. Yes, June the 6th, which is a Monday. So definitely have a look out for that, and you can book in already if you want the space on that workshop. It's £33 each one, and you can book in on my website susankennard.co.uk, or wait for the newsletter which you sign up for on my website, and the link will be there as well. Okay, all right, so Spirit, what do you want to say about the divine masculine, the divine feminine, please? Okay. Right, so I've got the Earth Star activation. So this is Isis energy. And actually, this is quite interesting. If you look at this, you see it? On Friday, when I was doing some shamanic healing, I worked with someone who's a shaman, who's amazing. And when I was doing the shamanic healing, Isis, goddess Isis, actually stepped in. So it's interesting how her grounding goddess energy for the divine feminine is coming through in this card. So let's see what we have for the divine masculine. So Isis is obviously going to be coming in on that. She may come in tonight actually, but she's obviously going to be coming in on that first intuitive healing retreat of the month. Okay, let's see. Hi, Maria. So, divine masculine, please. Okay. Oh, wow. So this is about the inner earth. So it's really about laying foundations and security. So what I feel the guides are giving us here is that with the divine masculine and the divine feminine in alignment, and really feeling supported by both, then we are able to really ground ourselves in this time, and we're able to bring through source energy to create and manifest. And the thing that is really important as well is to remember that there's nothing wrong with us. It's just that this is the time of ascension. So this is the time where everything gets moved out of the way so that we can be the highest frequency that we can be. Okay, so it's not there's anything wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with anyone that doesn't choose to step on the path of ascension. There's no judgment with it. It just is exactly where you need to be. So if you're listening to this and you found this, maybe it's popped up on your YouTube feed, or it's on Facebook, or wherever else I post it, then know that you were meant to hear it. Okay. And if you send it to someone and they're not ready to hear it, that's okay. It's nothing, you know, it's nothing about you. It's nothing about them being wrong. It just is what it is. So let's just do meditation. Let's see where the guides take us on the little visualization meditation. All right. Okay. Hi, Mary. Okay, so let's come into our heart space. Good. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. And then just breathe normally in through your nose and out through your nose. And just keep, I've got my eyes open for the purpose of the video, but if you just close your eyes, if you can do that, if you feel you want to. And just start to breathe and notice your breath. And then if it's possible for you on the next in-breath, I want you to hold it for a couple of seconds and then release it. And then hold it and release. So you're breathing in and holding it and then releasing. Breathing in and hold it and release. And now we're going to hold it longer. Breathe it in and hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. Again, breathe in, hold it, hold it, hold it, and release. Good, excellent. So I want you to imagine a beautiful star under your feet, which is your earth star, and a beautiful star above your head, which is your soul star. So we're working with Mother Earth and we're working with source energy. Okay, so I want you to see a beautiful beam of light. Good, from your soul star all the way, shining a light on you, all the way down. Right down through your body, down to your earth star. Fantastic. And then I want you to say these words out loud if you can. I'm fully aligned with my consciousness, mind, body, soul, freedom. And then just take a deep breath. And then feel how it feels. You can notice that I'm starting to sort of move around a bit, and that's where the energy is aligning. And sometimes it feels very warm behind me. So I can feel that the Council of Light are very much behind me and working with me. So I want you just to invite in your Council of Light. Doesn't matter if you don't know who they are. Just invite them to step in. And just feel a sense of maybe just somebody around you, or some warmth, or just an awareness. Okay, good. All right, good. So I want you just to connect for a moment with what we were saying about feeling supported by Mother, feeling supported by Father. And just connect in with how your Earth Star feels. Do you feel that you're connected to Mother Earth? Do you feel like you're being supported by Mother Earth? And just connect in with your own GPS, your own inner guidance, and just listen. Does it feel 100% connected? Okay. And then connect in with your soul star above your head. And just listen again in your heart. Are you 100% connected to being supported by Father, and therefore receiving the guidance from Source? Okay. No judgment with wherever you are. And then I want you to listen as you ask to bring in a particular colour. And I want you to choose the colour, whatever colour comes to you, and just ask for that colour with sparkling energy to flow from your soul star above your head all the way down through your body and all the way down to your earth star. Okay. And then just feel the feeling, how it feels. And just get the sense that you maybe feel a bit calmer. You feel a bit more connected. Okay. And just know that by just acknowledging that part of you that is connected by your Earth star into Mother Earth, being supported by Mother, how dense it felt, how light it felt, how grounded it felt, will tell you how supported you feel. And the same for your soul star. Do you feel you can access it easily? Do you find it's difficult to follow your intuition? Okay. All right. And then come back to me. And so that's just a very, very little sample of how one way that we can sort of connect in and feel how grounded and connected we are. What we'll be doing on the intuitive healing retreats is working in a very deep way for at least an hour and a half, where we're clearing our childhood aspects, our ancestral aspects, our past life aspects, on 2 separate retreats, one to do with Mother and manifesting from Mother Earth as a human, and one to do with working with true Father support energy and true source energy flowing through us so that we feel limitless. Okay. So I'm just going to have a look at the chat. How are you feeling after doing that exercise? I'll just check in with anybody. And look at the chat. And so it's been lovely to be with you here today. If you haven't subscribed already, that would be fantastic if you could, so that you don't miss any of my videos when they come up. I do tend to record them at different times, but I do try as much as possible to do them at the beginning of the week. It just depends on my children and my schedule and so on. But it would be really lovely for you to like and subscribe. That helps me grow the channel and it helps me reach more people. So that would be amazing. Just to say that yesterday I actually sent in the legal part for my book with the publishers. So next step, wait and see when we get a publishing date for Awaken the Light Within Your Heart to be out, which would be really exciting. And after winning the Hay House Writers Competition last June, I managed to get an amazing publishing contract with their sister company, which is called Babel Press. So Balboa Press, apparently it's called, not Babel. So yeah, they've been amazing actually, and really stepping me through step by step. I highly recommend them so far. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. I will look out for your messages and your comments, and I'd love it if you would join us on the 6th of June for part 1 of the intuitive healing retreats. And you're very welcome, Heather, and see you very soon. Okay, much love for now. Bye.